Hey everyone, and welcome to another video review. This is a Transformers Studio Series 86, number 11, Perceptor. He's from the, of course, original Transformers movie. We'll go ahead and put him off to the side so we can take a look at this box real quick. You can see, yes, it is Perceptor right there, kind of weird little grin right there, and he's reaching out for something. Yeah, you got some artwork there. You got, of course, the plastic window. Perceptor 86, Transformers logos, and the movie, original movie. Up there, you got the original movie logo. On the side, you got more of that artwork with Deluxe Class, and on this side, you have the artwork with Authentic and, well, 86 logo right there. Up down here, of course, you have just some manufacturing stuff on the bottom, and on the back, you have some product shots and warnings. And after observing a fleet of incoming enemies, Perceptor reports that a cursory evaluation of Decepticon capability indicates a distinct technical deficiency. Or in other words, they're outnumbered. Yeah, that's the box. Inside box is instructions, but they're pretty simple considering Perceptor. Perceptor is not exactly very involved transformation, to say the least. It's not a whole lot there. Yeah. Perceptor. Yeah, Perceptor here. You can see he is a red and blue robot with a big old microscope on his shoulder and some white here and there. Yeah, I like him. He looks good, to be honest. Yeah, you can see, show some detail off. He's got a bit of almost a sulk going on in his face. He's got a silver face, little yellow head crest thing, some blue eyes. Picked out, you got a white around here with the translucent chest piece with the Autobot symbol inset. You got this little piece from the old Microscope Mode right there and kind of a whitish plastic. You got the black here and some blue with some detailing here. You got some red, more tech detailing, black feet. Got the little treads on the inside of his legs. You can see that. Back, there's a big old hollow spot, and some people are upset about that, but it doesn't bother me that much because it's on the back. And there's a Tamashii stage port right there. You got the little knobs on his arms and everything. The very nice coloring, and he has, of course, again, the black and white and the knob on the microscope lens thing. And you know, got all that stuff. Looks very good overall. He also comes with his little red gun. There's a bit of detail there, and of course, pop that in his hand if you want. Although Perceptor doesn't really shoot much because he's Perceptor. He just analyzes over sciences. And yeah, he's just overall pretty good. They also brought back the 5mm ports that were lacking on some of the older 86 guys from the first few waves. But yeah, he looks really nice personally. I think he's a really nice looking Perceptor. The only thing is there's a couple on mine. There's a couple little paint splotch, extra paints like overspray or something on the translucent windshield. Also, there's a little scratch right there. That's I think the only real flaw. Oh, there's also this thing. There's a little weird silver splotch of paint there on mine, on the head. So that's a little unfortunate. But overall, still think it's pretty solid. Feels good. Play with. Nice little figure overall. Rather like him, to be honest. The only thing I'd say is maybe sometimes it feels like the hip's a little too wide, but I don't know. Something I look again, oh, it's right. You know, it's one of those things where it's like it looks right and then it looks wrong and then it looks right again. And I'm not sure if the color blue is totally accurate, but I think it is. But the kind of the weird thing was because I know the original G1 toy had more of a greenish color, but whatever. Articulation though, his head is on a ball joint, so you got left and right. A little bit up and down, but mostly through the platform, and a little bit of wiggle, but not a whole lot. And also, again, it's hard to get a grip on it because of the telescope thing. But also, the thing about the telescope is, yeah, you can unclip it and point it up a bit if you want. And you can also point it down right there. It's a little ratchet. And else, if you want it just out of the way in general, you can just bring it on the back. There's actually a little slot there for the tab to go in, and just you can have it just sitting there on the back if you want instead. So. Not the end of the world. That if you want to just don't want them to have the thing on the shoulder. Shoulders can go also, do a full 360 outward thanks to the fact they are in fact ball joints, which means you get a little bit of wiggle, but not a whole lot thanks to the shape. Got a bicep swivel right there. Elbows go about 90 degrees or so, maybe slightly more. There are no wrist swivels. He does have a waist swivel though, largely unhindered. Although I think there's a bit of mold flash kind of putting me in a weird, like, natural stopping point, but he does have that. Hips can go forward all the way and then some. Back pretty far. Outward pretty far. He's also got that joint, which is not useful for robot mode and makes him look weird. He's got a thigh swivel. He does have actually pretty good bend on the knees. I was surprised how much it bends on the knees. yeah, pretty good there. And he does ankle tilt, quite a bit of ankle tilt, and it's pretty well designed that. Yeah, I think overall he's pretty solid. Pretty solid Perceptor, where I like him. And just as a quick comparison, here he is with the Titan's Return Perceptor, who I rather liked, but yeah, he's noticeably smaller. Like a good head smaller, all those scopes bigger, and that's one thing they lost is this one doesn't do that whole thing anymore. Also not a headmaster. But he's noticeably larger, that's the thing. Here he is with Blaster, just, you know, because, well, most prominent role in the movie was, well, for one of his most prominent roles was, well, with Blaster. So you can see, yeah, a bit of a height difference, but I believe that's correct. And here he is with Earthrise Optimus. And of course, it comes with a backdrop. You can see there it's Autobot Cindy under attack from the movie. The 8611 there on the left side and all that stuff. And of course, yeah, you can just plop them on there. Have them telling Ultra Magnus about, you know, tactical deficiencies and all that stuff. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, transformation is actually, again, like I said, pretty straightforward. So yeah, get the gun out of his hand, and first thing first is take his head, rotate it 180, and then just flip it around into that little thing right there. I guess, congratulations, you filled in the gap. You take the hands and also rotate those in. It's very stiff on mine. Anyway, then there, what you want to take this and take this part, the shoulders, and unclip it from here on both sides. Just unclip that. And you take the shoulder cannon piece right here, and you rotate it here on this hinge, and then you rotate it up on this hinge so it goes over the center, and you bring this one up, and this little tab here will go in this slot. Like that. Holding that in place. You go ahead and bring these down like this, and right here you want to rotate the arms up like that, and then bring them up. Right here, there's a little slot here, which will show, there's a little tab right here. That just like that. Same on this side. Rotate the arm around and tab it in like so. You go ahead and move the legs forward like this. Move them out like that. And then rotate them right here. The little hinge. And then flip the feet down. Then finally take this and move that down and point that down. There you go. There's his microscope mode, and you can store the gun on this. You can just what they want you to do. They want you to like point it like right here. They want you to point it like this. It's kind of weird, I guess, like an arm microscope that's arm, but there you go. That's a thing you can do. Have it just chilling out there if you want. Yeah, I rather like it. It's not the most amazing thing, but it's kind of Perceptor's thing is that he doesn't really have to do much to get to his alt mode. Really, it's kind of obvious what's going on. It's always been like that. And there is like translucent plastic here, but really, honestly, it's like not. You can't really see through it, unfortunately. You can't really see through it. You kind of can, but it's incredibly blurry, and there's no zoom or any of that. So that's the thing. And it doesn't have any wheels either. There's no wheels. You can move this up and down though. Yay! No rotation side to side, but yeah, you can move this up and down. The knobs don't turn. That's I think the biggest disappointment is just like none of this stuff like moves really, which is a little disappointing, but not the end of the world. Comparison to the Titan's Return Perceptor, a little more compact, mostly, although this sticks up more and it's just overall bulkier and kind of actually somewhat works. But yeah, bit different overall, but still largely this. It's kind of largely the same transformation in many ways. Like amazing how almost identical in many ways. It is comparatively. Yeah. There's really not a whole lot of difference. I think maybe except the arms on this one are a little more prone to slipping out of alignment, but yeah, that's the thing. No, they actually, this time, the tank mode is official this time, unlike with the Titan's Return. That's, well, kind of straightforward, though. It's just, you take this and, let's see, you rotate this around like this, bring this around, and there's a slot here that just goes over this tab on the arm. Same right here, rotate it around, bring this around, and slot it in, adjust this, and, you're done. The only thing is, yeah, you could take the gun here and peg it into the side of the microscope, and that's a bit better for this mode, so yeah. But yeah, it's the tank, which has always been lame, and it's still lame. You got the treads now, you can see them, but they don't roll. There's no wheels or anything, but it's Perceptor's tank mode, which has always been lame, and it's still kind of lame here, and there you go. If you're complaining about it, well, I guess bonus third mode that's kind of, yep, it's always been kind of lame. Yeah, that's the thing. Real quick, yeah, though, comparison on this one to the Titan's Return version, which I guess is somewhat more impressive, although that's just because it got a big old gun attached to it. And yeah, it's still just kind of One thing is I would say is, one, it's actually got rolling wheels, although barely. They don't roll super well. And they've got this actual extension piece, which helps, I guess, solidify the tank mode stuff. Yeah, otherwise, it's largely still the kind of the same lame box with the telescope pretending to be a cannon thing. Yep, that's the thing. So, Perceptor. I like it, but I can understand why a lot of people don't. It is very simple. This transformation is not... It's I think it errs on the side of so simple, it's actually kind of boring rather than simple but fun. You know, I think a lot of people know what I mean by that. It kind of starts into, yeah, it's kind of boring to a degree. The robot mode looks great. The microscope, well, looks more or less like the microscope that Perceptor always has been. The tank mode is very much a kind of a kind of lame extra, but you know, it's nice it's there, but it's not really nothing to... I don't think it's going to persuade anyone to go after this toy. But I like the robot mode enough, and the microscope mode is decent enough that I rather like it, but he is kind of simple. He's got good posability though. So I don't know. It's what it comes down to. Do you like Perceptor at all? I think this is one of those things where it's like Perceptor, really, there isn't a whole lot you can do with him at a Generations budget, you know? There's only so much you can do, and I guess they did it. This is one of those things like there's not really going to make much better at this size and price point, you know? If you want more extravagant, then you're going to have to go to Masterpiece or Legends, which will going to cost you more anyway. Because, yeah, I mean, if you really want Masterpiece, you got two options right there. But, yeah, he's fine, I think, overall. He's solid. He feels solidly built. He doesn't feel particularly fragile or anything. Oh, the other thing I would... I almost forgot to mention, which is the legs, the hinges and the legs for the transformation. I wish they had a more solid lock-in point for robot mode, because they're really easy to move out of alignment compared to the rest of the joints, which are actually fairly tight. Those are really loose on mine, so that's something I might complain about. And mine had a couple little paint snafus, but he's solid. He's not amazing, but he's solid. He's worth a pickup if you're just being a completionist or you just like Perceptor, but if you're looking at him not really becoming way too particularly impressed, he's okay to skip him. Because I don't think he's going to really... I think if this review hasn't convinced you, nothing will, I don't think. There's a lot really to... there's really not a lot to him. There's no extra secret bonus things. There's no... Yeah, it's just a solid... He's a solid, if kind of... how do I put it? Solid figure, but maybe a little... unexciting there. He's not very exciting, but he's solid. So there you go. I hope you found this review informative and entertaining. I hope you like, comment, subscribe, and I hope you check out my Twitter. I'm at my Nemesis Prime 1, and I hope you check out my Coffee and Patreon, and I'll see you next time with another video review.